Watch them charts start soaring. Crypto to a Lambo, it's a foreign. I've been all around the VeVeVerse, we been touring. FOMO, fear, missing out while we scoring. On me millionaire, 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 millionaire. Cause you know when it rains, it be pouring. We was all investing, they was snoring. Now look at my collection, it's enormous. On me millionaire, 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 millionaire. Bullish on that cryptocurrency, and you know it. Ever since the pandemic, we've been really on it. Bullish on it, copping NFT every morning. On me millionaire, lifestyle never boring. Meet me there, on the moon, it's important. Thank you to everybody that supported. Now we poppin' champagne, that's important. And we kept playing the game, ain't aborted. Solid diamond hands are rewarded. On me millionaire, millionaire, millionaire.
What's up, my homies and fellow NFT collectors? It's Monday morning. It is not a drop day, just in case anybody is here looking for the drop. There's no drop happening today, but we do have a special guest. Let me go ahead and introduce my buddy. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming. What's up, Calta? What's up, Rotato? Cameron Knights in the house. Ruler, Quincy, Random Hero. What's up, everybody? What's up, Doom? What's up, Hamoon? What's up, Walks on the Beach? Let me get my buddy over here. You guys probably know him already. He's a OG VeVe user and a VeVe YouTuber. Chad from NFT Pirates is here. What's up, Chad? How you doing, my man?
Man, what is up, dude? Thanks so much for having me on, brother. I mean, it's amazing, dude, just seeing, us from the beginning when we had, a few hundred subs, and here we are now, and everything's blowing up. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on, man. I know, like I said, a lot of people really expect your opinion on stuff, and you have some great collecting strategies we're going to get into. So I'm very happy that you accepted my invite to be on the channel today. But I know a lot of people are here for the giveaways, and we do have 5 giveaways today. And I'm going to go ahead and do the Crypto Tiger giveaway first because a lot of people are excited about that one. This guy sent me over 2 of these Crypto Tigers. I got them pulled up on the screen now. They're OpenSea ETH NFTs, and man, they look great. Usually when somebody sends me like 2 NFTs like this and they say keep one and give them away, I just give them both away like I'm giving all the silly sheep away. But I'm keeping one of these, the Crypto Tiger 366. I'm already using it as my profile picture on Discord. And we're going to go ahead and give away number 431, Crypto Tiger Society. And I looked these up. One recently sold for over $100 on OpenSea. And it's a pretty cool project. So like I said, guys, to enter this giveaway, you have to have an Ethereum address. And you have to be in my Discord. I'm going to send a copy over to you, a link over to you in the chat. Go into the giveaways channel. And I'm going to get this giveaway started. We're going to do it for 5 minutes while we talk to Chad and let everybody who doesn't know Chad get to know him. And you guys go ahead and enter this giveaway. All right, Chad, so tell me about it. I know you're well known for flipping and making money off of low serial numbers and blue chip NFTs. What's your collecting strategy, and what's your collection look like? Is there a certain particular type of NFTs you collect?
Thanks, my man. Yeah, so I'm pretty diversified. And so I think I've got a pretty solid foundation with the big blue chips. So, Disney, DC, Marvel. That's kind of, I look at those like my RSPs, like a long growing kind of mutual fund. And then I'm in a lot of different spec plays too, including a lot of this Decon stuff. And, I know recently you called out Fat Cat Bronson, man, when it was 1.5K.
Yep.
And now it's sitting at, I think it's over 3.5. But I mean, just seeing, where Mr. Cartoon was, realizing that it's limited to 888 editions, and then thinking, if there's more artists that come into this app, and more celebrities, that's definitely one I think they're going to want to have. So I'm very diversified. So that's the kind of way that I like to play it. You could stack up on a certain collectible and, go all in, but I just like to see what happens because, when something pumps, you likely have it. And when something's dipping, you'll also have it. So you're never really, completely reliant off one piece, which I think is just a great, thing to consider. And you see that a lot with, people that have like mutual funds or that have large savings accounts. They're usually very, very diversified. So I'm looking at a lot of this stuff now. Like I would look at stocks, and that's what we're pretty much holding on to, man. Like when you buy into Marvel, you're almost buying into a Marvel stock for an NFT in a sense. So So yeah, I've got a lot of different things. You know, one of my best flips was probably I picked up the Mickey hat number 43
Ooh.
during the Disney Golden Moments, and I flipped that right away for like I forget over 10K, and then I bought two Waltz from that. So
Yeah, I remember
you
you
know,
talking about that in one of your videos. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
yeah, got super lucky, man. You know.
Yeah, and like you're saying about the IP, investing into those big companies like Disney and Marvel, that's the way I look at it too. And at first, it was all about low edition, and then Disney Golden Moments happened, and then I was all about maybe it's IP, not low edition. But then Decon happened and started pumping, and the secret rare comics. So I'm kind of iffy on which one's more important. I think everybody's like right in the middle now.
You're right, exactly. And I think they're both going to go up. Like, I think, you know, you have something that's really popular that has a lot of historical significance that might have more editions, like Todd Batman, as an example. We saw that hit, you know, 8.5K. And so, you know, we're also seeing that meaning is a big deal, but it's hard.
It is hard. Brendan Z's in the house. He says number 43 Mickey hat would go for $1 million plus on IMX, Chad. I don't know about that.
I know, I could have just held it, man. I could have just held it. You're right. Like,
Diamond Hands
it's
always
amazing
wins.
to think.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But also, I want to know if you're invested in any other NFTs. Is it just VeVe? Or are you on OpenSea? Any other platforms?
Yeah, so definitely, like I was on OpenSea, I was in Terra Virtua as well for a bit too. Like I was looking at some of that Bloodline comics. I was one of the first to get in on that too. I think I have like the number 16.
Oh, wow.
And you know, I was in another few different projects. You know, I was unfortunately not in Bored Apes or CryptoPunks, but definitely, you know, definitely a few others as well. And you know, Recurs looks interesting, but I just think VeVe to me is kind of the, you know, the holy grail of this all, and I think it's the best kept secret right now because of the licenses, man. I mean, these licenses, like Disney's a $320 billion industry, Marvel's 25 billion, like, you know, DC's a few billion. Like there's, you know, even like something as simple as holding like one Simpsons NFT, like that's 20th Century Fox is 5.6 billion. So it's like there's so many great things on this app. I think it's almost hard to fathom where you should put your money because a lot of it has so much value.
Yeah, that's been a big problem for me lately. I don't know where to put my money because I want a little bit of everything. But like you said, diversifying probably makes the most sense. And I think you're right about Recur. They kind of looked at what VeVe was doing with all the IP, and they tried to match that too. But I feel like VeVe's got all the best stuff already taken. Some of my Omi homies are in the house. What's up, Satish? What's up, Slevin? Rich Buddy? Don is in the house. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to take questions from the chat here in a minute. I did want to point out that I got Chad's YouTube channel pulled up here, and I want to link it in the chat if you guys haven't subscribed already. Like I said, he's pretty popular. Most of you guys are probably already subscribed. For the people who don't know, what do you pretty much focus on with your YouTube channel?
Thanks, man. So yeah, for the most part, it's kind of like NFT reviews, strategy, and some interviews. So it's pretty much heavy on the collecting. I'm not a drop expert, like, you know, our number one guy here, VeVe Vault. And so, you know, really I focus on collecting and strategy, and essentially, you know, what people could be doing to be making better positions for themselves, some things that might be undervalued, and really just try to articulate my thoughts to encourage other people to think. Not to say that this is what's going to go up, but just to really give you varied perspectives so that you can make more informed decisions.
Awesome, perfect. What about OMI tokens? Do you ever talk about OMI, or do you invest in OMI?
So yeah, so I do have over 1 million OMI. I've invested way back in the day on OMI, but since then I haven't really invested too much. Every now and then when it dips, I'll put in a few $100s.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm too heavy on the collectibles because I look at the collectibles like OMI, and I'm like, you know, if we ever have to burn them one day for OMI, as an example, maybe that's the way that I'm going to get more to fill my bags more. So
right.
I just think they're kind of both the same. Like if they're both kind of like rising tides to me.
I think so too. I don't have a ton of OMI. I only have about 300,000. I do plan on getting to 1 million, but my strategy is, like you said, is going to be selling some NFTs in the future for OMI tokens. I think that's what's going to get me there.
Right, and you're seeing it now. Like people are asking, "Hey, can, you know, I had an offer for like 10 million OMI for my secret rare Spider-Man."
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Man, that's compelling." But I was like, you know, I want that because the other thing too, you get social capital from some of these NFTs, like your prides that you have. I mean, in the future, man, who knows what that's going to mean, right?
Oh man, I hate to break it to you, bro. I sold my prides.
Oh, did you?
I did
What was the price that you sold them at? Probably at a high.
I sold one at 1,200, one at 1,700, So I sold those too early, obviously, and then I sold one for 4K cash because I wanted to fund my little venture into YouTube and to flipping NFTs and such. So that was kind of my seed money to get into it a little more.
Well, you know what, man? I mean, if you think about that move too, you know, the amount of money that you can make off YouTube in years to come, and the social element that you have now too, that's a moneymaker, and it's guaranteed, right?
Well,
So,
it's a gamble. I think I don't know if that'll happen, but VeVe is going to be so big that as long as I'm keeping up with my stuff and I have cool guys like you on the channel, I should be able to keep growing. We got a couple of
oh,
Omi homies in the
100%.
chat. Mr. Quincy said he just subscribed to you to your channel. We got Firefly Odyssey. What's up, my man? What's up, Ruler? Beyond the Fan, the biggest bro. Rulers in the house. KA and Nick Crypto Learn. Guys, we have a winner for the Crypto Tiger NFT Ethereum NFT for OpenSea. It's Shutter NO3. And as you guys know, you have to be on the stream to claim the giveaways. So if you don't claim it in 5 minutes, there will be a rebound on this giveaway. So let me go ahead and send him a message real quick. Congrats.
Congrats.
Yep. And then we're going to do another giveaway. We'll do 5 minutes again. And this one is going to be, let me see what's next on the list. Oh, we're gonna give away one of Neon Vibes' NFT. He's a Omi homie. Chad, do you know Neon Vibes?
I sure do, man. Since the beginning, like you said, he's been here since the beginning.
Yep, he's an OG Omi homie, and he sent over a couple of his Kanu sprites, which are NFTs on OpenSea that he creates. I have quite a few myself, and we're gonna give away one of these. It is the blue and white ones. Collect all 99 in Discord giveaway. So you guys might want to check his. If you win this one, you might want to join the Kanu Discord, and I'll go ahead and get that set up right now. So you said that you don't do tips on your channel. Uh-oh, we got a big super chat coming in from Justin Torres. He says there's a pirate in the vault. Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Justin Torres
Here, wait,
super
let's
chatted
robot lady
$10. There's a
talk.
pirate in the vault. Let's go. Victory hand, medium skin tone.
They even gave the skin tone on it. I like that. So
Sweet.
what kind of, I know we talked earlier, you said you don't have very good success rate on your drops. What type of drop techniques do you use?
Man, well, I've been following your stuff, so I'm like, I feel like, you know, the blind box I've been getting a lot better at with the space gate and just like tapping repeatedly. So I appreciate the invites there, the info there. I did not bad on the last one with the Mermaconers. I got like a rare, and I just wish I was able to list earlier because I could have made like maybe $1,000.
Speaking of that, so did you hear about Poolside? Do you know the whole Poolside story?
Please explain. I heard a little bit. I'd love to learn more.
All right, let me actually entered that wrong. Okay, so what happened was, as most people know that we're in the Mermacorno Series 2 drop on Saturday, was that after the drop, people were unable to list the items that they had just gotten in the drop. And there were just a handful, I guess maybe 20 or 30 NFTs out of all of the NFTs that weren't affected. And people that weren't affected, of course, went ahead and listed them on the market. And people bought them and then relisted them, and they pretty much got up to like 400 gems each for like the commons. The prices were ridiculous because nobody else could list them. And this guy named Poolside, I'm trying to pull up all the info on my Twitter as well. This guy named Poolside decided to buy all of those, so he bought all the commons for like 400, 500, 600 each, and we listed them all for like 48,000. Okay, so I have it pulled up. Here's the common Aquaria. He's got 4 of the 5 listed. He's got them at 44K, 46K, 47K, 48K. So his plan here, and he even said so. So this is important because afterward he blames VeVe. But you can even see here where he posted in the VeVe app, and he says, I bought NFTs for 1,600 gems and changed the supply and demand. If one sells, it pays for everything. If they all sell, I get a new home. I have no bots because people were calling him a botter, of course. Anyone can buy as many NFTs on the market as they want. I like fishing, and I'm trying to catch the big one. And of course, several hours later, we were all able to list our NFTs, and the prices came down. And he did post again on VeVe. He was a little upset. He said it's a sad day for buying NFTs from VeVe. I had no idea it was a glitch and a flood was coming. Their mismanagement cost me thousands. So what do you think, man?
Well, I mean, that's a hilarious story, and I feel terrible for this guy. But I think, you know, it was pretty obvious to look at the supply and realize that there was, you know, it wasn't like this is one of 6 Mermacorno that would demand that kind of money. And I think all he had to do was go back at previous Mermacorno drops and see the relative comparison to get an inkling as to what these would cost. So, I mean, I think he was hoping for for somebody to do what he did and then just buy into the next round. But I think he was the only one that thought that. So
I don't think it was a horrible move. It's just he put them up at 48,000, put it up at like 999. Maybe you're gonna make your money back. I mean, it's not the worst move ever, but 48,000. And also, he had the gems to buy those in the first place, so I don't think he's as new as he's claiming or as innocent as he's claiming. He probably knew what was going on, right?
yeah, I agree, and I think like you said it perfectly. Like he could have made some more conservative flips, like buying something for 400, flipping it for 550, and instead of trying to make it 10 grand or whatever it was that he was posting.
Exactly, it's kind of crazy. Beyond the Fan mentioned that he posted something on the Facebook group, and I did retweet that. If I find it, I can read it to you guys. But it's kind of a long story. It's just him pretty much crying about it. Which I mean, I would be crying about it too. But then again, you played it kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know. I can't really. I feel bad for him, but it's kind of his fault too.
It's tough, right? And it's like a lot of these people will make gambles. Like even at the example was yesterday. There was a Robin's floor price went up to 4.5K. People were buying like low mint Robins at 6K, but the floor then dropped back down. And it's like these are the gambles that you have to make. So I think it's hard sometimes because even if you're calculated, it doesn't always work out.
Yep, absolutely, you're right. MD says that's not quite right. He first listed them for $1 million. That's why I almost had a heart attack when I looked at the Comey Wiki and saw that I was a millionaire. Well, for 5 minutes at least. The biggest bro says the Facebook posts are the best. All right, let me see if I can find that one Facebook post. I know I retweeted it at some point, and it would be pretty interesting to find out what his feeling about the whole situation was. If anybody wants to send it to me, I'm not sure where I put it at because I can't find it. And like I said, it is kind of a long post. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing. But I mean, he's kind of a legend now. He earned legend status in VeVe.
I agree.
Right?
He's a legend for sure.
Wasn't that worth it? All right, guys.
We should have him on the show.
I would like to. Actually, I want to, if I could find out, I guess he has a Facebook, so I could contact him through Facebook. I would have him on the show. That'd be interesting to talk to him about it. I don't think he'd be very happy. But by then, at least he would have gotten over it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
James McBatman says, if there is a workable metaverse, everyone will want Marvel, DC, Disney, Star Trek, and so on. Ready Player One would have been boring without the awesome IPs, and VeVe has them all. Right?
So true.
Makes sense, right?
Makes perfect sense. And I think that's the biggest, attribute that VeVe has is these IPs. I mean, they're the biggest in the world. They're the best in the world. And, somebody was the other day was saying, when Pokemon, and I was like, you know what? Like, as much as Pokemon's going to be fantastic, don't sleep
Lockford 23 super chatted $5. Been trying to message you, Chad. Can you help me acquire Omi? Let's go, VeVe.
Lockeford said he's been trying to message you so you can help him acquire Omi. Do you use Bitforex? That's what I use to get mine.
Yeah, there's lots of good YouTube tutorial videos that would know how to do it better than me, but that's how I get mine at Bitforex. I basically, go through Binance and stuff like that, and then transfer over to Omi. So
yeah, I buy mine. I usually buy Bitcoin through Coinbase, because if I buy on Coinbase through PayPal, it's automatic. I don't have to wait the 7 or 8 days, and then I transfer it over to Bitforex and buy my Omi tokens that way. I know some people say to use Litecoin and other coins that are less gas fees, but I don't know a whole lot about cryptocurrency, so I just do Bitcoin.
Yeah, safe.
Yep. All right, congrats. We got a winner. It is OG VeVe user Mr. Jacob Cook. All right, send me your Ethereum address. I'll send you over a Kano Sprite. And we have another giveaway next. The last, like I said, we're gonna have 5 giveaways today. If you guys don't start sending me NFTs for giveaways like you guys usually do, we're not gonna be doing that today. I have trouble keeping up with giveaways when I have guests, so I'm just doing 5, and we'll do it every 5 minutes. And we got the last of 3 of the Ethereum NFTs. You guys know these, the silly sheep. Everybody loves the silly sheep. Chad, have you heard of silly sheep?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know too much about it, but I've been seeing it going around on Twitter, so it's there's always some new project.
Yeah, this one's kind of crazy because it was a website where you can just mint them for free, and they're on Polygon, so there was no gas fee or anything. You could just mint one every 24 hours, and they would just send it to your wallet.
Amazing.
Yep, and now they're out of them. This one we're going to give away is number 7299. It's got some blue shoes. The shoes look like they got wings on them. The guy might be a zombie sheep because he's green, and he's got a top hat on. So let's go ahead and set up a giveaway for the silly sheep. Once again, it's going to be in my Discord channel. The link is in the description. You'll go into the giveaways channel on the Discord server, and you'll just click this party popper emoji to enter. We'll have about 5 minutes. Congrats, Jacob.
Congrats, man.
Don says, hey, VeVe Vault and Chad, I have a question. I want to invest some of my gems in one of the big comics. What comic should I buy? And do you think it's the right time or should I wait?
Yeah, so I mean, I think, right now we already have some grails, right, that have entered the app. And I mean, there's also some really scarce comics as well. But I think, something like a Marvel comic #1 or Fantastic Four #1 or ASM 15 or even Fantastic Four #5, like all of those, in my opinion, even if you just get the commons, are just like long-term slow growers. Like they're a great investment, I think. And if you look at these comics in real life, they range anywhere from $500,000 to $3 million at the highest grade. So the physical counterparts are a really good indication to draw a parallel into the digital realm. Obviously there's no guarantees, but I do think that there's going to be a lot of comic book collectors that will follow that same mentality and want to buy in. So yeah, never a wrong time for the big ones.
Yeah, go for the grails, because the grails just keep going up, right?
Exactly. And then you got the other ones like, what is it, the ASM 52 or 252, which is extremely scarce. Obviously, it's not worth that much in real life, but who knows if that's the scarcest comic that ever comes to VeVe2. So, there's some people that are buying into that thinking, this could be some crazy story, legendary comic in the future too. So, it's hard to know which one's going to be the most in the future, but I think in terms of a safe play, those grails are an easy one.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Axon is wondering if he should buy an Elsa now. That's my buddy. Axon, I did want to say that Elsa might be a good pickup right now because it's one of the NFTs that hasn't pumped. We're getting a lot of pumps with the Batman Black and White, the comics, the Decons, but the Disney Golden Moments haven't pumped yet. You think it's a good time to start picking those up?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think just even seeing Walt right now, I think it's at 16.2. It rose from 12.9. And I think people are starting to catch on, like you said, VeVe Vault, that man, these other things need to, it's their turn to shine now. And I think the only thing that was difficult for people was the fees associated with Disney. So there was less flippers and traders getting involved. But if you're looking for a nice long-term play, I don't think you can ever go wrong with the first Walt Disney animation NFT.
I think you're right about that. All right, so there's something I wanted to talk to you about, and it's the commons as first appearance. So listen to this theory, and I don't know if somebody else has mentioned this before, and this is why commons have been more valuable lately, but the first drop ever on VeVe was the Black and White Series 1, and it came with the Todd McFarlane, the Rizzo, the Becky Cloonan, and the Joe Madureira. And the common is the Todd McFarlane. They all dropped at the same time, but the common is the only one with the first appearance, the FA. So does that mean when we have drops like Spider-Man and 5 different rarities drop, that the common is technically the first appearance?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all going to be derivative from the actual data on the blockchain, right? I mean, I think it's a good point people make because the one thing that you could look at too is that it's possible that the FA for Todd was just given because it was the first one, and then the rest of these sets would follow the same methodology. But I think it's hard to know. I would need to see the actual data, but I think a lot of people are making that assumption. That's why they go after the commons. But I think the other part that you got to look at is the first ever set is still going to hold extreme value. I mean, whether it's 1 second minted before the other, I know it makes a difference, but I think that first ever set's still important. The first ever Marvel set is still going to have relative importance. I mean, you might have some blockchain purists that will really be into getting to that first of the first of the first. But I think for the most part, they're going to all rise together. So, I wouldn't sleep on uncommons as an example. People are going okay, it's even because the other part is that rarity, ensures that scarcity stays there. And I mean, as we see with everything with scarcity and popularity is the winning bet. Spider-Man Secret Rare is a perfect example. 1,000 editions, most popular superhero, and look at the price point. So anytime you can find scarcity and popularity, I think, and if it's a first appearance, wow, I mean, you're laughing.
That's exactly what I was thinking whenever I was trying to decide what to buy. I had gotten together about 2,800 gems and wanted to buy one of those Amazing Spider-Man 252 rares, and I almost pulled the trigger on it at 2,800, and I chickened out and it took off. So I had 2,800 gems to spend, and I was using that strategy as well. And that's why I ended up picking up the Coca-Cola Secret Rare, because it's scarce and it's a great brand, of course. So I believe exactly what you're saying is correct. And we also have a question in the chat from Don asking, oh, I'm sorry, somebody else was asking about Deadpool. Let me find it real quick, because I thought that was a really good question about, is Deadpool a good buy right now? And you can see the prices on Deadpool have went up recently, and just yesterday I went ahead and picked up a Deadpool Ultra Rare.
Nice.
Yeah, I think for $440. I used all the gems that I got from flipping Murmur yesterday, because man, the flips were good. I flipped about 30 or 40. We can look at my transaction history. It was ridiculous. I made about 400 gems off of it. So I spent those 400 gems on the Deadpool Ultra Rare, and it's gone up since then. I mean, it started off really low in price. What do you think? You think that's a good buy right now?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, looking at those, and these are appreciating assets. I mean, Deadpool is one of the top 10 Marvel characters. It's only getting more and more, popular from here. So I think I definitely think it's a good buy, and it's pretty scarce as well. And I think it's possible that they do remove the Christmas items on it, which I think would just have more mass appeal. And who knows, maybe the animation gets changed long term. Like, I mean, this is all speculative, but I think it's the FA of Deadpool, whether you like it or not. And he's wearing that Christmas hat. I mean, it's the FA of Deadpool. It's a big deal.
All right, so I have a theory about the whole the Christmas items getting removed from Deadpool. If you put it into the snow globe, as some people know, in your vault, and you put Deadpool inside the snow globe, the shirt comes off, the Christmas shirt, and even the Christmas hat, except for on the uncommon. On the uncommon, if you take it off, there's nothing there. So I kind of theorize that maybe they'll flip that, and at some point, the shirt and the hat will be off when you're outside of the snow globe, but when you go inside of the snow globe, you'll have the Christmas gear on, because it'll be like a Christmas environment.
Wow, that is a wicked theory. Like, so it would do the inverse.
Right, exactly.
And then you would always want the globe to maybe have all these NFTs go into the Christmas mode near Christmas.
Right, it works for
How
Groot
cool
as
is
well.
that?
Yeah, I thought that'd be cool.
I love that theory, man. That's a good one. And I think you were one of the people to figure it out, right? Too, when Deadpool, you put it in the globe, and then you saw the hat and the sweater came off, right?
Oh, it wasn't me. I found out on Twitter. I was surprised. I had to experiment myself, because I didn't believe it at first. And now people are saying Groot, and I haven't actually seen Groot with my own eyes, but apparently the Groot stuff comes off if you put it in the globe as well.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah. And Quincy says, what are your thoughts about the Storm Ultra Rare? Has it the same potential as the Deadpool Ultra Rare?
Well, I think there's been a lot of hype recently on Storm too, because it looks as though Storm is going to be involved in a pretty big movie franchise next year, and I think it's also really good. You have to think about a lot of younger females as well that have less or fewer characters, to idolize in here, and I think especially being more kind of racially diverse as well is really important. And I think that it is like the first ever Black woman superhero to join VeVe as well in premium digital format. So I think that's going to play a massive part. I mean, all you need is one celebrity coming in here and buying that as well and saying like, listen, this has like, big historical significance, and then it goes to the moon, and it's scarce. I mean, you look at the Secret Rare, I think it's like 1,500 editions around there, and it's like, okay, for that price point, when you look at Secret Rare Spider-Man at 54K, I mean, you've got to do the math and think, okay, this has a lot of room to grow.
Absolutely. I think you're right, especially with the new movie coming out about her. I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Brian Ordeal. He says the Christmas sweater doesn't just come off now. He totally sees through it. It doesn't even show his body. That's just for the uncommon, though, Brian. And Ibra says, yo, I got a Gary Frank yesterday while it was pumping and the price dumped a bit. Is there a chance it goes up again? Man, I don't know what's up with the whole Batman black and white prices. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think be careful. Like, I never chase a pump. It's hard when you see these things go up astronomically. As an example, like, I don't have a Rizzo, I have a Todd. So I had to watch Rizzo go all the way from 4K to 20K, and it hurts. It's painful, right? But sometimes if you all of a sudden jump in at 17K, and then all of a sudden Rizzo, let's just say, levels out around that price, and meanwhile, like, the Disney Golden Moments are pumping, you can really kind of, lose money that way, unless you're just playing it for like a long-term investing strategy. But I just think, when things are pumping, if you missed it, it's like you're joining in at the top of the mountain potentially, and then it's down from there to level out. So it's always better to get into something that people aren't thinking about, so that when it does pump, all of a sudden you like 2x your money. As an example, like a perfect example is like Batman Who Laughs, or the common Ultraman, right? Both of those doubled. while nobody was thinking about it. So just as an example.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe Batman Who Laughs is over 200 now. We were selling those for like 30 and 40 back in the day. There's a ton of them, but I mean, it's just Batman Black and White. Everybody's digging on those right now. And like you said, I have to stop myself, but you're right. You can't chase the pumps. It's hard sometimes when it's like a first appearance Joker and you don't own one and it's starting to go up. But yeah, you can't chase the pumps.
Yeah, and it's hard because sometimes you don't know when these pumps are going to stop. I mean, when Rizzo was at 9.9K, you might have been like, okay, that already pumped 2x. I don't want to buy in, but now it pumped another 2x from there. So it's like, you know, it's really difficult to know. But I think the other thing that Reese always says is just collect what you love. You know, it seems as though everything's a winning NFT right now. It's because there's so many damn users coming in. Everything's on the rise. So, I mean, I think you know, like, collect what you love and make your own convictions, not to FOMO into a lot of these things.
Yeah, that's what I started off doing, was holding on to the ones that I liked the most, and it just ended up being the ones that pumped the most. It was just happened to be my taste. I was lucky on that. All right, we got Lucas, who says maybe you can help him. You might be able to explain it better than me. How does he get an Ethereum wallet for giveaways like these OpenSea giveaways? Do I have to have an OpenSea account? Which you do have to have an OpenSea account, and he's asking us through Coinbase. But you have to create a MetaMask, I guess?
Yeah, so you can create a MetaMask or you can create a cold wallet. So like a lot of people, what they'll do is or a hot wallet, sorry, a lot of people will just get into an exchange and then keep their money on the exchange, but that's not really, you know, your own keys, and it's not 100% safe. So when you transfer it over into a MetaMask or a Trust wallet or one of those things, then, you know, you own that, and it's a lot more difficult to somebody to break in into your hot wallet. So, you know, I think do your research on some of that stuff, but it is important, I think, to open up one of these cold wallets.
Yeah, just be careful too. There's a lot of scammers and a lot of tricks in the cryptocurrency world. Just make sure that you always write down your seed phrase a couple times. Don't lose that. I've had that problem once before. And be sure that you make sure that you know what you're clicking on, and you don't trust anybody. Just don't trust anybody, period.
I totally agree, man. It's the Wild West in the crypto world.
It is a bit. All right, we got a winner for our silly sheep. It's Firefly, who just won an NFT on a stream last week, I believe. So congratulations to Firefly. We got a couple more NFTs to give away. This one was donated to me recently. It's one of the Marvels, not Marvel, Marvels with an S comic, and it's going to be a common. So we're going to do a 5-minute giveaway in the giveaway channel of the VeVe Vault Discord. I'll link that again in the chat, and the last 2 giveaways will be VeVe giveaways, so you won't need an Ethereum address, and you'll have 5 minutes to enter. Young SG asks, have you scooped up some Steve Rogers musical posters? Seems like an insane buy to me. I had to buy some. That leads me to my next question, which is about your approach for MCP. Are you stacking up stuff like the Rogers posters that are cheap sets to complete to get your set count up?
Man, I mean, that's a great argument, right? I mean, so there's two trains of thought on this. Do you go after all the stuff that's under retail right now, like some of these James Bond posters, some of these things that, you know, will add up a lot of different points when you do have the Master Collector program? Or, you know, do you just stock up on the grails and then wait for everybody else to sell off their grails so that they can have more diversity and get more sets, and then you buy back into things at a discount? So for me personally, I'm kind of doing a mix and match. I have some things that are like stuff that I'm not looking to hold for the long term to get more Master Collector programs points, but at the same time, I'm not going to get rid of the stuff that's very valuable. So I'm trying to play both sides of the arguments.
That's smart. That's a good way to do it. It's kind of like a way of diversifying, really. I'm personally not really paying attention to the MCP points much at all, but once we go to that queue system, I think we're going to have to start paying attention because we're going to need those extra tickets.
Right. And if it's to land something like Pokemon, you know, I guarantee you people are going to go crazy just buying up as many cheap collectibles
super chatted $5.69.
Exactly.
Hey guys, you're doing an awesome job. What are your thoughts on Captain America Common? Is it a good buy? The floor is at 150. Thank you.
Now I'm wondering if he's talking about the Captain America. I can look it up in the market. The Captain America collectible or the Steve Rogers first appearance. I'm assuming he's talking about the Captain America collectible. And you were talking to me actually just recently about the Captain America secret rare, right?
That's right. Yeah, it was 1.9K when I bought it, and I think, you know, it's up to like 6.5 now.
Oh wow!
Just based off scarcity. So I'm like you. So I'm not sure if he's talking about the common Captain America or if he's referring to the Steve Rogers FA Marvel Mighty.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the common Captain America myself. I see the Steve Rogers. There's only 100. Oh, that's Bucky Barnes. Sorry. Steve Rogers
Yeah.
is the first appearance, and this Captain America is that they made 5 rarities of. It's not a first appearance, so I think that is hurting the value of it. But you can see, like the secret rare you were talking about, there's only 62 on the market right now. The floor price is 7K. So I think you did all right. That was a good pickup.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of that one, if like, if you're looking at the common for the one that's more premium digital animated, that's not the FA, that Captain America, I think it's going to potentially long term be overshadowed by the little Marvel Mighty, the FA, because people really kind of care about first appearance. And the reason for that is it acts as a safeguard for all future Captain Americas. So for instance, if there's like 100 more Captain Americas that come out on VeVe or on Recur or other NFT platforms, people are always going to look back and refer to what's the first, just like you see in comics. And therefore, that's why I think, if you're comparing those two commons, despite having more editions, I think it is something that I could appreciate more long term personally. But scarcity is also a major component.
That's a tough choice between those two Captain Americas. I'm looking at the common now. He was talking about the figurine because it's at 150, the one with 5 rarities for the common, and there's only 150 left of those on the market, which is kind of surprising to me.
Right. And who knows, man? Like, the market will decide. It could be that people stop caring as much about FA, and that's more of a collector's pipe dream, right? And then, and this is the thing with crypto, is people care about scarcity. They care about things, and it's not always, you can't always make these accurate predictions. You can speculate, but anything can happen at the end of the day.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We got E-Rocks in the house. That's my homie. He says, what's up, guys? Did you notice the Decon drops going up in prices? The white skateboard doubled in a day, and the cat, well, yeah, of course, I noticed the cat because I picked one up, and it went up to 5K. And I know everybody in my chat told me the other day to sell it, and even my mom called me and said, did you sell it? Because she was watching, and I didn't sell it. I got those diamond hands, and it dropped down to 3K, but I think the scarcity, like you're talking about, is going to make it go up in value in the future. It's one I'm holding on because the artist is awesome. But he's talking about the Lincoln boards as well, which I liked a lot, and I wanted to collect those, but you have to, of course, get 2 secret rares to complete the set. The set's, like, incompletable. I don't know. What do you think about the Decon drops? I know you were talking about them earlier. Do you own a few?
Yeah, I do. So I actually, I definitely speculating on a few pieces. So Fat Cat bronzes, to me, even some of these Cat Trooper pieces as well. I mean, there's so many different ones in here that all you need is the right community as well. And different types of utility. I mean, even some of these apes, right? I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the hype happening with a lot of these apes, but there's going to be potentially some collaboration with Frank Kozik, where there could be future mutations in the future, and then also apes are so important in the crypto world. And here we have the gold XL ones, and we have over 1.3 million users and only 488 editions of the gold. All it takes is 488 people out of the future of 10 million users to have the same mentality, and those go to the moon. So, this is why I think it's important, again, as much as these big blue chips are safe bets, you could get extremely lucky on buying the right Decon piece, like you did, VeVe Vault with that Cat Bronson as an example,
Yep.
Where all of a sudden you triple your investment overnight. So I'm definitely playing all avenues here.
Yep, same here. What's up, Sweezy? Sweezy's in the house. We got Nikolai, Just Relaxes. How do you learn how to flip on the market? You only do drops for now. You do pretty well at flipping on the market. Are you trying to snipe stuff like right after drops to be the first to click on it? Or are you just looking for maybe something to stack and wait for it to go up after a drop?
So I'm a daily kind of flipper trader. So I will even I'll make little moves. Like sometimes, you can't be upset with yourself for taking profit. So, I'll basically go to one collectible, go to another one, sometimes only making like $200-300. But then I slowly accumulate the gems, and then I'll go and I'll buy a piece that I really want, like a Grail, like a Todd Batman, like another Superman or something like that. Yep. And then I go back with my liquidity, start off at 500 gems, flip my way up to the next thing. So, and then, gem squeezes and drops are an amazing time, like you showed yesterday with the Merconos, to take advantage of the market with mint numbers, and with different things that are undervalued, and really kind of capitalize on those opportunities. So, yep. That's where my head's at with that stuff, man.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of different ways to make money on the market, whether you want to stack up something that you think is undervalued, or if you want to try to flip something that just got dropped. There's definitely lots of opportunities there. We got Fraser Crane in the building. He says, what's up, guys? Wondering if you guys only had enough for one Tide to hold or diversify and hold and flip in the marketplace, which would you do? So if you had just enough to buy a Tide, would you just buy it and hold it, or would you use those gems to make more gems before buying it?
Yeah, it depends on, like, I would say it depends on a few things. If you have a lot of time where you can actually, flip your way up and use those gems for your benefit, then I would do that. But if you're like, work a 9 to 5 and you don't have a lot of time on your hands to think about the marketplace, then I think investing into, a Grail piece like a Todd, like a Superman, like a Walt, like, a Rizzo, one of these things, like a Marvel comic #1 UR, like any of those things, I think, are going to just have long-term slow appreciating growth. But if you have the time on your hands and you can make these flips and understand the market more, then I think you could scale that potentially 2x or even 3x. Then you can go buy your Todd and still have 16,000 gems to then move to the next thing. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't start off just going straight for trying to flip, though. If you don't know what you're doing, just like start off slow, start off little. Don't start buying the big stuff because you don't want to lose big at the beginning. You need to learn, get some experience on the market before you start going all in on it.
True. And like you said, man, that's a great point. Maybe start by getting some of the Grail stuff, like maybe a common Spider-Man, common Marvel comic #1, these kind of things, and then have a bit of a foundation, and then use the excess gems for the flipping. So I think that's a great point you make.
Thanks, Journey. Thank you, my man, for that super chat. He told me thank you for joining the chat during my stream on Saturday. I don't remember joining a chat on Saturday. Were you with Big Collectibles, maybe? Dang, I didn't even know you were one of those guys. What's up? Cool. MD said, did I sell anything on this pump to lock in profits? And what about Chad? I did sell. I sold a Tales of Suspense number 52 uncommon because they pumped to like 120 yesterday. I don't even know why. So I had 4 of them. I went ahead and sold one of those. That gave me enough to get my ultra rare Deadpool. And they dropped back down to 60 or 70 gems. What about you? Did you sell anything in the pump to lock in profits?
Yeah, I did. So I sold a few things off, some of my duplicates, and then, pretty much I think I'm waiting for a big drop or a big announcement from VeVe soon enough too. And I think that we're going to see a bit of a retracement eventually. So I'm definitely not, thinking that this pump's just going to forever go to the moon. I mean, even though it's likely given the amount of users we have.
Really?
But, I've seen the crypto world lots of times before, and when everything goes up to this extent, it's bound to have a little bit of a correction soon enough. So I think I'm just kind of holding gems right now for that next big opportunity.
That's a good idea. Crazy Dave wants to know if he thinks Journey into Mystery 85 common is extremely undervalued right now. I know it's like doubled in price over the last few days, right? Is that one that you think is undervalued? It was the second, I always say it was the second comic to be dropped on the app, and that gives it a little extra value in itself.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. If I'm not wrong, I think it's the first appearance of Loki, which is a pretty significant comic book in the real world too. And I mean, if you look at the real world value, it's pretty expensive for a 9.8 grade. But I'm unclear about what the price is now, so I wouldn't want to be like, oh yeah, it's totally undervalued, because I'm actually unsure of what the price is now. But again, like, I don't know if it's a good short-term play. But I do think that long term, again, it's a Grail. So it's a key book, not a Grail, but it's an important one.
Yeah, it is an important one. The floor price right now is at 48 gems, but there's 40,000 of them, which is pretty high. It was those first few comics they made a lot of, and I think this was actually less than the Marvels. The Marvels was 50 or 60,000. This one had like 50,000 total, 40,000 common, something like that. So I do think that it's going to have extra value just for being the second NFT, the second Marvel comic dropped on the app. And I think 48 gems, if you look at Marvel and Fantastic Four right now, it might be a good pickup.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we got Doctor Strange in the house. What's up, Mr. Doctor Strange? Dasby says Zombie Captain America is about to break even as the initial drop. Oh, it's about to drop down to retail. You think Zombie Captain America is a pickup? I really like the Zombie Spider-Man because he has Doctor Strange's cape on. I'm just not a big fan of the Zombie Captain America myself. It is a Marvel product, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on your wavelength. I mean, it wouldn't be a primary option for me. I think it would be more of a, if I'm looking to accumulate like master collector points or something like that. But I think there's a lot of other pieces currently on the app that might have a better ROI, especially if it's just breaking retail. I mean, but again, I mean, it's also what you like, right? Like, who knows? Like, maybe Zombie Captain America is something that people really love, and I mean, aesthetically, it looks pretty damn cool. But I think I would put my money in other places right now, personally.
Good call, good call. We have a winner. It's the OG Avi Malise, one of my OG subscribers, an OG Omi homie. You won the Marvel's #1 comic, and the next giveaway is going to be a House of X Uncommon, one of my favorite covers on that app. While I set that up, we have a great question from Axon. What are our opinions on cash out coming up? Will the market crash or will it go up?
Yeah, so I mean, my personal opinion is that it's not going to crash. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but here's my thinking and logic around this is that the first thing is that when we extract the gems, there's no telling how much you can do. I doubt we would be able to take out, like, let's say $50,000 a day, meaning that you'd probably have like a limit of like $2,500 a week as an example. On top of that, David, you said that there will be some countries that won't be able to cash out immediately. And I think, anybody that wants to avoid taxes and those things, I mean, as much as I'm not advocating for that, would likely want to do something with an escrow outside of VeVe for a lot of these things. So I do think that everything's going to continue to appreciate for a little bit. And I'm not too worried about it, because on the other hand too, if we do have the cash out, then that just confirms that there's a closed loop for VeVe, that you can put money in and take it out. And I think that would be a bigger incentive for a lot of bigger whales and people that are interested in NFTs and investing, because now they're not seeing it anymore as a scam, quote unquote. And so I think there's a lot of, upside. And we have don't forget what you have. Like, these are the first NFTs from the biggest brands in the world, sometimes limited to 10,000 editions or less. There's 8 billion people in the world. If you assume 1% get into NFTs, I mean, wow, you're looking at least, what is that, about 70 million people potentially that would be interested in VeVe at its peak capacity. So I do think, the scale long-term is massive.
Absolutely. And I see your question here, Ripper. I'm going to get to that next. I did want to mention that I feel like the pump that we're experiencing over the last couple of days has to do with the AMA and how people feel like MTL is now going to be delayed a couple more months. So the people that were stacking up gems to cash out are now buying up stuff in the marketplace because they think it's going to be a couple more months before they can cash those out.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, and you have experience too with like NBA Top Shots, and I think you're the one that told me that there is a limit, if I'm not wrong, in terms of how much you can take out. So I think that's a good indicator as to what happens here.
Correct, absolutely. All right, let me get to my man's question up here. It was a good question. The Ripper, he wanted to say, do you and Chad have a certain strategy for VeVeVerse land? I think it will be reserved initially for collectors. Hopefully it's not just like the people with the most MCP points, because I'm not a whale or anything. You're a little bit closer to whale status. What's your plans for VeVeVerse land?
Yeah, so I mean, I've got big plans. I mean, I think this is going to be another magic opportunity on VeVe. So if you missed a lot of these big things like Partner, or some of these big drops like Secret Rare Spider-Man, I do think this is another way to make money. And I think what we're all realizing is that these metaverses are pretty much replicating the real world, but now in the digital one. So meaning that the land element, in my opinion, is going to be massive. And so with the VeVeVerse land, like, Master, that's why I'm not totally out of the Master Collector program, because I'm still, potentially seeing that there might be some kind of tie-in there. And the other way I look at it is, like, I'm starting to accumulate gems and money right now so that I can make a significant purchase when it is released. So I mean, I'm probably looking to make at least $10,000 to $15,000 purchase on land. I mean, hoping for about a $50,000 purchase, because I'd love to have everybody coming by my place, us hanging out on the VeVeVerse, man, like, renting out the NFTs. There's so much to come still. And I think the community is just getting started.
Absolutely. Shout out to Non-Fungible Wonderful is in the chat. That's the man who does my intro music and background music. If you guys haven't checked him out on YouTube, like I said, we just started a giveaway in the Discord. It's going to be for one of these House of X uncommons, and you're going to want to get into it, because not only is it one of the best looking covers on the app, there's only 88 left in the market. It pumped all the way up to like 80 gems the other day. It has an all-time high of about 200 gems. And all you have to do is click this party popper emoji to be entered into the giveaway. And shout out to Ivy Melise. You won the last giveaway, but you have your instant messages turned off. We do rebounds on our giveaway, so if I'm not able to contact you in 5 minutes, somebody might be getting your giveaway. And I know you're one of my OG subscribers. I try to send you a friend request on Discord. I don't know, maybe you can find a way to turn your IMs on and contact me so you don't lose your Marvel's #1 common that you won. Hit me up. James McBatman says, I wonder how much money you can make being a certified trusted VeVe escrow. Are you in any groups, Telegram or Discord that have escrow services?
Yeah, so I've been in a few. I mean, for the one thing that I just want to harp on is that some of this stuff is really risky. So when you have an escrow that's not necessarily reputable or that you don't have a long-term history with, I wouldn't be chancing that. If you ever use an escrow, I mean, which is not advised by VeVe, there's a potential that you get scammed and things like that as well. So be very, very careful with that. I mean, I think the right thing to do, in my opinion, is to collect what you love and to just kind of hold on to it for the interim, because you don't want to take the chance of losing what you have. And I think somebody just said Walt's at 18K, my man. Look at that.
My goodness.
Things are
I'm
flying.
going to have to pull that up. Yeah, I figured the Disney collectibles today was going to be the day. I should have scooped a couple myself. But when it comes to the escrow, yeah, you're right about that. There were so many scams and so high demand in my Discord server that I had to stop doing the escrow service myself. And I try to get people to help me with escrow, but you can't trust anybody on here, guys. So I had to do it all myself. And then I had to stop. I had to cut that out because there was too many scams and too many people asking for it. But I do provide escrow services for free for all of my homies that are members of the YouTube channel. So if you want to click join on from your PC, it's like $4.99 a month. That's just another utility for being a member. You also get your name ingrained in the chat and all that good stuff. What's up, Neon Vibes? We just gave away one of your Kano NFTs, and we are currently getting ready to give away a House of X Uncommon. I've got Elsa pulled up now. It's all the way up to 1,500 already.
Woo!
And the partner statue is at 18.4K.
Wow, that's crazy.
How many of those do you own? Chad, how many partner statues do you own?
I just have one.
Yeah, one.
So I had two, but I sold one off for Secret Rare Spider-Man.
Oh, that was a good pickup. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we got. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. So I sold the 122 at the time for 24K when the floor was 12, and then rate went into Spider-Man Secret Rare at 17,900, and then I picked up another Todd. So I think it was a pretty good. It was about a $70,000 move.
Wow, those are big moves. That's a big move right there. We got Thomas Slack. He says, question, don't you think it would be cool if we could see the distribution of each collectible? So how many wallets hold a Todd or multiple Todds and stuff like that? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a few, big whales, as we know, like Silicon Secure, I think has like a 70-something Todds or 100 and something Todds. There's a few people that probably have a lot, but I do think that there's a lot of people with just one or two. So I'd be one of those people as an example. So I think, it's not, as much as there are some whales, I think it's also pretty diversified. And I think there's a lot of community that's driving the importance of Todd because it's an OG collectible. It's the first of the first. And I did a write-up actually on my channel the other day. You can check that out. It's an article that kind of goes into detail on this. I
actually read that. Yeah, I didn't get through the whole thing, but I did start reading it, and I could tell you were making some great points there. It's on your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, right on the community page.
Yep. We got a couple super chats in here. Thank you, Rich Buddy, for the super chats, my man. He says the floor on R2D2 is at 2,600 right now. Looks like it went down to 2,500. He wants to know, should he sell?
Wow. I mean, I think it's starting to pump. I mean, it's impossible to know these things, right? Like VeVe can come out today and say, guess what? We're dropping Pokemon, then everything tanks to 1.2K.
Right.
So there's no I can't ever give you perfect advice, but I think it's starting to pump. R2D2 is the first ever Star Wars NFT in existence. It's the most limited one, 8,888 editions. It's the top 8 most popular fictional Star Wars character. So don't forget what you have. Like, everybody's like so quick to flip and get out of the stuff that they have, but these are important things. Don't be afraid to just have a long-term investment with this stuff and just sit on this. People are going to be given a lot more appreciation for holding too. So so again, don't forget we have the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Absolutely, 100%. And it does seem like these pumps come in waves. First it was Batman Black and White, and then it went to Decon, then comics. You might see Disney pumping next. They're already starting to pump. R2D2 is up, so I definitely wouldn't sell right now. And Kizzy was talking about what's up with Mickey's Sorcerer's Hat, and that is one of the Disney Golden Moments that hasn't pumped yet. So with all the other ones pumping, maybe that's one you might want to look at. I saw a couple other ones that haven't pumped a lot yet. Iron Man's already up to, it's already up to 1K just about. It was sitting there at 600 for the longest time. Maybe Avengers logo at 895 might be a good pickup. It's one of the rares.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm a huge fan of that one as well.
the Avengers logo. I want to get that one so I can put it in my vault whenever we're able to put all these comics in there, because I have a lot of the Avengers secret rares.
That's awesome.
Ruby Short says, what do you think about the Monkey's Little Friends? I have the ultra rare. We were just talking about those. You think those are ones to hold on to, right?
Yeah, like I definitely think, like that one's going to be driven by the community. So if there's enough of a community drive for it, I mean, they could be massive because of the sheer scarcity. But there's, again, no guarantees with any of this stuff, because they could drop more apes next week, and then that would potentially threaten the importance of those previous ones. And that's why, again, in terms of being safe, that's why I always go after FA's first appearances of major characters from massive reputable brands. So, this kind of reminds me of like high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward kind of stuff. That's the decisions that you have to make on a daily basis.
Absolutely. All right, we got a winner for the House of X Uncommon. It is ABB247. I'm going to send them a message. And then we got a couple more questions in the chat. We're going to end the stream in about 10 minutes, but I want to make sure I get everybody's questions answered if I can. Mr. Seti says, what do you think about comics like Marvel #1 Common? Will it sell in the future, or just the secret rares? Yeah, that's kind of going to be a long question. Like, is the commons going to catch up with the secret rares? Are the low edition, the low serial number commons going to be worth as much of the secret rares? And I feel like all those uncommons and everything in between is getting left out unless we make... I'm a big proponent for making comic sets, if you own all 5 rarities, count as a set. And I think those ones in between will gain more value if they do that.
Totally agree. I mean, that's such a good point that you make, right? And especially even looking at the Master Collector program, you would know that a lot of these other things are going to go up too, because people are going to be looking for those points. So I think, scarcity is very important when it's something that's popular. When you go to a common comic cover, yeah, there might be more buy-in, but I don't know if you're ever going to see 15 to 20,000 for one. I mean, it could get there, but I think Marvel 1 or the UR limited to 2,400 editions for Marvel comic #1 is a steal right now, under 3K in my opinion. And I think that's one of the biggest sleepers on the app, because all you got to do is make a comparison to Secret Rare Spider-Man and the Ultra Rare Spider-Man that went past 7K. And it's like, okay, how is the Ultra Rare Spider-Man in that 7K, but then Marvel 1, which is, equally as valuable in my opinion, that you're not seeing that UR take off yet.
Right. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to get this pulled up. We got ABB here. He sent over his QR code, so I'm going to send him a House of X Uncommon. I'm going to take another question from the chat. Michael Wiggins says, Yo, VeVe, I would love for you to share what I sent you on Discord with the community. Oh, yeah, he did send me something. Let's check this out, because Michael Wiggins sent me a really cool chart.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully I can find it. Michael Wiggins, what's your name on here? And he wanted me to look at it, and I couldn't see it from my phone because it was small. I think I got it pulled up right here. Okay, we got this pulled up. So what he has is a chart here for the 5 sets that are cheapest on the app. The average CPP, so I guess cost per point, is between 30 and 50. And he has the USPS stamps. Oh, I guess the new set as the cheapest cost per point set on the app, followed by Holiday Group, the No Time to Die poster, and then 3 of the No Time to Die poster sets.
Wow. See, this is cool. So if your play is for the Master Collector program, then I mean, these are smart decisions to be making now, right? Because eventually when the Master Collector program comes out and everybody's like, wow, it's so amazing, all of a sudden everything else is going to start going up. So I totally agree.
Absolutely. We got Jay Kill in the house talking about the Murmur-Cornos. Somebody else asked, are Murmur-Cornos are smart to stack those right now, the Series 2 Murmur-Cornos?
Man, wait till we have Japan and China come in when there's more localization, and Tokidoki is such a major component out there. I mean, I could definitely see, especially a lot of younger people, really kind of FOMOing into a lot of these things. And as we get into Season 7, Season 8, just like we're seeing with Season 1 now, people always going to want the first of things. So, we're still in the early mode here. They might be joining in at Murmur Corners set number, 19. So 2 is going to be valuable. So I think, again, long-term play, you're in good hands, I think.
Absolutely. Good call. All right, K Hang wants to ask about Adventure Time, and somebody earlier asked about Adventure Time. Do you think that's a good play right now, Adventure Time?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Rizzo right now, right? 1750 editions. I think it's sitting at $20,000. Marceline right now, 1750 editions, sitting at $930. I mean, you want to start talking about mathematics and how things are going to go up over time. I mean, these are the types of, comparisons that you have to be drawing. Despite Rizzo being way more popular, do you think that Rizzo's going to go to 100K and Marceline will go at least to 3? So these are these are the types of things when you start looking at similar kind of edition sizes, URs, all that stuff. Like you start to draw the math, and right now things are very lopsided. People are really going into certain collectibles. It almost feels like things are getting pumped kind of artificially in certain areas, but there's a lot of steals right now in the app.
Absolutely. And another one that several people have asked about and that I've been hearing a lot about lately, and I don't know much about, is the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Somebody was asking about the uncommon, and I think there's two versions, and they've gone up a lot more in value than I expected them to because I've never heard of Ben Reilly. So do you think those are good plays right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are gonna, if they can't get into Spider-Man, they're gonna go to the next best thing, which I think is like the Ben Reilly FA, and in that uncommon is pretty scarce, and then that what is it, the ultra rare, it's just 616 editions.
Yep.
I mean, you talk Spider-Man popularity and you talk scarcity down to 616. I mean, that could be a really good one long term, right? So. But I know less about Ben Reilly in comparison to Peter Parker, and it's also not the first Marvel NFT, so forth. But I do think it's a good one for sure.
Yeah, the fourth ultra rare Ben Reilly is at 7K right now. We didn't hear back from Ivy Melise. Ivy, get a hold of me on Discord or Twitter, and I'll send you a Marvel's #1 common myself. But since we didn't hear back from her, we're going to have a rebound on this giveaway. Somebody else is going to win Ivy's Marvel's #1, and we're going to do a 1-minute giveaway. So you got 1 minute to get into the giveaway. Hopefully you didn't exit out of the Discord, or you're quick at getting back in there because I'm setting it up right now. You're going to have 1 minute for this giveaway, this rebound giveaway for a Marvel's #1 common. All right. And like I said, we'll be ending the stream pretty soon. I've got a lot of people in here, the chat saying Chad from NFT Pirates is the man. I've seen that the whole time we've been streaming. Sorry for skipping those. I know he's the man. I don't need to say that. You guys know he's the man. MD says, VeVe Vault and Chad, would you sell your Omi and move it into VeVe right now? I'd really like to buy a secret rare Deadpool. I mean, part of me sometimes wants to sell my NFTs and buy Omi because I feel like when it hits a big exchange, it's going to take off. But I love my NFTs too much to sell them like that. I don't know. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I think it's important to have diversification. I mean, at Omi at any point, like VeVe Vault said, could 4x. And the thing about Omi too, it's liquid, right? So if you ever need to take some profits, it's very easy to do that. These collectibles right now, it's in a closed container. If you want to sell them offline, it's difficult. And we're still waiting in the MTL, so I think there's a case for both. But I would definitely not just do one or the other. I think it's important to diversify.
Diversification. That's what people always say. That's what the experts always say. So I think that makes a lot of sense. We got Ivy Melise in the chat says, "Oh crap, I won. I didn't know." Don't worry about it, Ivy Melise. I got plenty of Marvel #1 comment. Marvels. I don't have plenty of Marvel #1 comment. I got plenty of Marvels #1 comments. So just send me a message on Discord. Right now your DMs are off, so I couldn't message you, and I'll still send you one. But we're about to have a rebound winner. If you're not in the Discord already, you got to go into the giveaways channel and click that party popper emoji, but it's a 60-second giveaway, so you might be running out of time. Alfie Lloyd says, do you guys think Voltron is a good pickup right now? I'm on the fence. I was on the fence about Voltron too. It's such a classic nostalgic piece. I even remember Voltron as a kid, but I don't know if it's one that's going to be worth a ton in the future, like Batman and Superman, guys like that.
I agree. I mean, I know it's like the first ever DreamWorks, and you might have a really unique kind of collector base for it and that different fandom. But I agree with VeVe Vault. I think there's some better plays right now for your money.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. Congrats to Keith, #1, 2, 3. Please send me your QR code, and I will send you over at Marvel's #1 common. All right, we're going to take one more question from the chat. I think this is a good one, too. This is a good question for Chad because I wouldn't ever have 7,000 gems at my disposal, but Chad probably would. He wants to know, if you had 7,000 gems to spend, what would you buy?
So right now, if I had 7,000 gems to spend, I would probably then go into a UR that's really undervalued that has scarcity as a short-term play. So as an example, I'd probably buy up like 7 Marchlands. Wait till they pump to about 2K, sell those off for 14, and then I would probably go buy something like a Rizzo on a dip.
I like that. That's a good idea. Absolutely. All right, my Omi homies and fellow NFT collectors, I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate Chad from NFT Pirates for coming to the stream. I'm going to pull up his YouTube channel again and link it in the chat. Make sure you guys are subscribed to him. He does some great information about what you should be collecting, what you should be looking for, and what you should be expecting in the future on the VeVe app. All right, everybody. Thanks, Chad, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, guys, I'll be back tomorrow as usual for the drop tomorrow. We got a new comic dropping, and I appreciate you guys hanging out.
Thanks so much, man. You're the man. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chad. All right, see you guys. Peace out.